Welcome in, Dark Hearts. I'm Mooney.
And Wolfie with your Nerd Network news.
The weekend is almost here, and we're going to give you some great reasons to go see The Boy and the Heron.
The film sees Mahito entering the Forbidden Tower against the very good advice of his grannies who have been taking care of him. Y'all, words cannot describe this journey. It would be quicker to just watch the movie, and it is well worth it.
Probably the two biggest reasons to go see this movie, the soundtrack and the voice cast. The piano melodies were simple, but they allowed the focus to remain on the film's breathtaking visuals and compelling storyline. Not just that, but the voice cast was out of this world. Robert Pattinson did such a phenomenal job, especially with it being his very first voiceover.
We also saw the return of Miyazaki alum Christian Bale as the father of Mahito, the main character. Dave Bautista made a surprising cameo as the Parakeet King. And I know what y'all are thinking, but the Parakeet King definitely looked more like Dave Bautista than Dave Bautista looks like a parakeet. Mark Hamill has a small role as Grand Uncle, but you can hear every bit of his villainous voice acting from previous works. Though that's not to say that Grand Uncle is the villain of this story. It's a Miyazaki film, there are no real villains. And I was certainly surprised by Robert Pattinson's performance, especially after years of him being typecast as Edward from Twilight. He straddled the line between the cat-like, all-knowing Grey Heron, I cannot take this Grey Heron seriously, he's so silly, and this Grey Heron is definitely gonna kill me at some point. In addition to that, I gotta say that Miyazaki is coming for Pixar. The hand-painted backgrounds not only managed that level of detail, but went beyond.
Even the wallpapers. You wouldn't think that wallpapering having the texturing like it did back in the 80s would be such a big factor in the art. But man, it just made everything stand out, it made everything much more alive.
Going into this film, I assumed it was sort of a spiritual sequel or prequel to The Grave of the Fireflies. I was actually surprised to learn that the main theme of this film, healing from a great loss and truly recovering from that trauma. And they did some very good work on showing how PTSD flashbacks can affect your life.
Much like other Miyazaki films, this film makes you feel very uncomfortable at times, because this film wants you to understand what PTSD is like, which is something that Miyazaki has dealt with in his own life.
For those of you who aren't aware, The Boy and the Heron is semi-autobiographical, and many of the events that you'll see are modeled after Miyazaki's own childhood. And let's just talk about the eponymous Grey Heron for a minute. The most disturbing image in this movie, not the most gory, the way they animated teeth onto a bird. Truly the most disturbing thing about this movie.
And y'all know it's not a Miyazaki film without a cute sprite-like character. You are gonna love the Wara Wara. I honestly think I like them a little bit more than the Soot Sprites.
You know, those are some fighting words, Mooney. Let us know what you think of the Wara Wara versus the Soot Sprites from Spirited Away. Or, what is your favorite adorable sprite-like character from a Miyazaki film?
To summarize, The Boy and the Heron is an excellent story of how Mahito overcomes his trauma and beginning to heal from a great personal loss. Until next time, Dark Hearts, stay nerdy.
NNN would like to thank our listeners for tuning in, and our radio sponsor, 1065 The Point.
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to DarkHeart_Studios on Facebook and Instagram for updates and daily content.
As well as Dark Heart Studios on YouTube and Twitch for full video versions of NNN and live streams.
Thank you for tuning in, Dark Hearts. This is Mooney.
And Wolfie, signing off.